The Galactic Council had sent their finest xenobiologists to study the apex predators of Thuros 7, but none had survived longer than 3 solar cycles. The creatures were magnificent, scaled behemoths with razor-sharp fangs, intelligent pack hunters that could strip a hovercraft to its frame in minutes. The Council declared the species too dangerous for observation and quarantined the entire sector. Then Kate arrived. She stood at the edge of the nesting grounds, her reinforced arm guard gleaming under the alien sun. Arthur watched from the shuttle's observation deck, his fingers hovering over the emergency extraction controls. He'd argued against this approach for weeks, but Kate had been adamant. The Council's methods were wrong, she'd insisted. They approached these creatures as threats, not as living beings trying to survive. "Kate, 3 juveniles approaching from your left flank." Arthur's voice crackled through her comm link. "Recommend immediate withdrawal." Kate didn't move. She could see them now. 3 cubs, each the size of an earth tiger, their scales shimmering like liquid mercury. Their mother watched from a rocky outcrop, muscles coiled, ready to strike if her offspring were threatened. The cubs circled Kate with predatory grace, testing this strange 2-legged creature that had dared enter their territory. The largest cub lunged forward, jaws snapping at Kate's extended arm. Its teeth clamped down on the reinforced guard with tremendous force, enough to crack bone had flesh been beneath. Kate felt the impact reverberate through her arm but held steady. She'd designed this guard specifically for this moment, calculating bite force from the Council's limited data. "Kate, your vitals are spiking. I'm initiating extraction." Arthur's panic was evident. "Stand down, Arthur," Kate said calmly. "Trust me." The cub maintained its grip, growling low in its throat. Its siblings watched, learning. This was a test, Kate understood, not of her strength, but of her intent. Every creature in the galaxy understood the language of patience and respect. Humans had simply forgotten how to speak it. Slowly, deliberately, Kate raised her arm higher. The cub dangled for a moment, confused. Then something remarkable happened. Instead of releasing its grip, the young predator scrambled upward, using its powerful hind legs to climb onto her arm guard. It perched there like a scaly monument to its own victory, tail lashing triumphantly. Arthur gasped. That's not possible. "They're supposed to be curious," Kate finished. "They're supposed to be curious, like every other intelligent species." The cub on her arm vocalized, a series of chirps and growls that brought its siblings closer. They approached with less caution now, sniffing at Kate's boots, investigating this strange being who didn't flee or fight. The mother remained watchful but lowered her defensive posture fractionally. Kate had studied humanity's own apex predators, wolves, lions, bears. She'd read accounts from centuries past of humans who'd earned the trust of creatures that could easily kill them. The secret wasn't dominance or submission. It was recognition, acknowledging that both species were survivors, both intelligent, both worthy of respect. "I'm downloading incredible data," Arthur said, his voice hushed with awe. "The cub's neurological patterns are showing playfulness. Kate, they think you're part of their environment now." The cub perched on Kate's arm began grooming itself, utterly at ease. Its siblings had moved on to investigating her equipment pack, batting at the straps with sheathed claws. One grabbed a scanner in its jaws, gently, almost carefully, and brought it to Kate like an offering. "Good," she murmured. "Very good." The mother predator descended from her outcrop and Arthur's heart nearly stopped. The massive creature moved with liquid grace, every muscle a testament to millions of years of evolution. She approached Kate directly, golden eyes locked on the human female. Kate stood perfectly still, her breathing steady. The mother sniffed at her, processing chemical signatures, assessing threat levels. The cub on Kate's arm chirped at its mother, as if providing testimony to this stranger's character. Then the mother did something that would change xenobiology forever. She pressed her massive head against Kate's shoulder, the same gesture she used to check her cubs for injuries. It was acceptance, recognition of Kate as a non-threat, perhaps even as something close to family. "Arthur," Kate said softly, "are you recording this?" "Every second," he breathed. "Kate, you've just rewritten everything we know about predator-species interaction. Over the following hours," Kate sat among the predators making observations that contradicted decades of Galactic Council doctrine. The creatures weren't mindlessly aggressive. They were protective of their territory, yes, but also capable of distinguishing between threats and curiosity seekers. The Council's xenobiologists had arrived armed, defensive, treating the predators as problems to be solved rather than beings to be understood. Humans, Kate realized, had a unique advantage in the galaxy. Earth had been a death world, a planet where apex predators of every description had forced humanity to evolve alongside them. Humans hadn't just survived. They'd learned to coexist, to domesticate, to communicate across species barriers. While other galactic species had evolved on gentler worlds, humans had grown up among monsters and called some of them friends. As the alien sun began to set, Kate finally stood to leave. The cub on her arm guard hopped down, joining its siblings. They watched her go with what could only be described as curiosity, perhaps even disappointment that their new playmate was departing. Back at the shuttle, Arthur embraced her fiercely. "You're insane. Brilliant, but insane," Kate smiled, removing her arm guard to examine the deep tooth marks scarred into the metal. "Maybe, but we just proved something important." "What's that?" "That humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's that we grew up with predators. We understand them because we were them. Every other species in the Council evolved past their predatory phase, sanitized their worlds. Humans, we kept our wolves and called them dogs. We're not scary because we're violent. We're scary because we can make friends with anything. Even the monsters." Arthur looked back at the nesting grounds, where the predator family was settling in for the night. "The Council won't believe this." "Then we'll show them," Kate said, patching her report through to Galactic Command. "Again and again until they understand. Humans don't conquer apex predators. We introduce ourselves, show respect, and see what happens. Sometimes you get bitten, sometimes you make a friend. Either way, you learn something." The message streamed across the stars, carrying with it footage of a human woman standing calm among creatures that had killed trained warriors. Above her arm, a predator cub perched like a trophy, not of conquest, but of understanding. Humanity's reputation in the galaxy shifted that day, from aggressive newcomers to something far more unsettling. The species that could make peace with anything, even the monsters in the dark.